Hello and welcome to the recap from round 6. I lost my game today and the team lost the match, so it was a bit tough. I'm gonna do the stream now before the dinner, so then I don't have to do the stream late at night. Let me show you my game. My opponent played a very good game, so something to learn for all of us. Knight f3 was my first move. I played with white pieces. c5, c4 came. Knight c6, and this was my preparation with b3 to avoid the g6 setup. d6, bishop b2, bishop g4. And now, for some reason, I decided to allow the capture to ruin my pawn structure, but in fact maybe I should have played e3 in the game to recapture with the queen instead. But I played knight c3 and black captured, and I didn't want to take with g-pawn, but I will look at this later and see if actually g takes would be better. e5, that's a good move, I think, closing the diagonal. And even if black gives up the two light squares here, white doesn't have any easy way to use them, as far as I could see during the game. Bishop d3 seemed natural, g6, castle kingside, bishop g7, rook e1. Okay, I'm not sure if it was correct. Maybe bishop e4 was better. Some small inaccuracies from me. Knight g7, bishop e4, castle kingside, and I went for queen b1, but not sure if it was the best move. White's problem is that black has very nice control on the d4 square. White cannot challenge with any pawn. Of course, white has similar control on d5, but not as good as black has on d4. Well, because there are two pawns here and three pieces that can potentially get to this square. Played queen b1, rook b8 came, protecting the pawn, and now black is ready to jump in with the first knight to d4. Okay, I decided to trade my bishop. I don't know if it was correct. Maybe I should have kept my bishop. I'm not sure. Maybe a small inaccuracy here as well. And now black changed the pawn structure, taking control over d5 and getting one more pawn to work in the center. Okay, here I could have played maybe just d3 and queen c2 and knight to e4 or knight to e2 and just get a more or less normal position, but I wanted to be more creative than that, so I wanted to attack this pawn. Black played f5 to stop knight e4. At least that's what I thought during the game, but I think I didn't realize that there was an attack getting prepared. If I would have realized that, maybe I would have played some normal moves here. Maybe queen e2 or something like that. But I played, let's see, I played knight a4, yes. And my idea was to sometimes capture here. So play f4 and then break everything up. Actually, f4 could have been an option here, but if I can open the e-file to play here. I didn't even calculate this, but maybe I should have looked at this more carefully, just to check if it's playable. And it looks relatively playable, I would say. Queen d7 doesn't work because of knight c5. Queen c8 doesn't work because knight hangs. King f7 though, threatening the rook. Okay, maybe not totally playable. Yeah, I don't know. Takes queen h3, threatening the pawn. Bishop e5, threatening the rook. A little bit interesting, but I don't know if this is enough compensation. But oh no, don't take there because queen d4. But maybe queen c3. Protecting the pawn. I'm not sure if this is enough compensation. But okay, this was my chance to play f4, because after I played knight a4, I didn't even look at g5, and in fact g5 is a multi-purpose move. Takes control of the f4 square and prepares knight g6, knight f4, which is a very strong maneuver with the knight. So now I realize that okay, maybe I'm not attacking here, maybe I'm defending here, but I didn't realize it enough, I think. So I still played on the queen side. Rook b1, knight g6, and now the knight is coming to f4, and now I defended poorly. I think queen f1 would be better, taking control here, light squares, and if knight f4 like in the game, I can play g3 and there is no check on h3. Knight has to go back again. Okay, this would have been easier to defend, I think, than the game, because maybe I can put my queen on g2. But my pieces are misplaced here. They should be working on the king side. At least the knight and rook should work more on the king side, I think. But who knows? Maybe also bishop c3, b4 is playable. Okay, I went to c2. I think that was not the best move. Knight f4, and now I realized, okay. I had one more option, actually, g3. Preventing knight f4. But, yeah, now I remember. Why I didn't play g3 was e4, and it looks interesting. Maybe this works for black. Takes. If I take knight e5, and if I take on b2, knight e5, queen moves, pawn takes. Okay, so I have to play this kind of position with some holes here. I don't know. It looks a little bit scary, but I don't know if it's playable or not for white. There could be some knockout here, maybe not. But yeah, g3 would have been a natural move as well. So lots of inaccuracies from me here. Queen c2, knight f4, and now I wanted to trade this knight for that knight. So I knight c3, queen e8, good move, I think. Otherwise g4 was also an option. Knight e2. Oh yeah, and black traded, okay, to preserve the pawn structure. And the queen h5. So now preparing to slowly attack on the king side with rook f6, rook f8, rook g6 perhaps, and then push g4. Very clear plan for black, not so clear for white exactly how to defend. White wants to counterattack with b4 and c5 and attack this pawn. So both plans are pretty clear, but white's position is harder to play, I think. I played rook e3, taking control of the third rank. From now, I think I defended pretty well. h3. Queen h4 was an interesting move, yes. Getting out of the way and sometimes pushing h5, and was an interesting move. Taking some control here. Okay, also, maybe most importantly, attacking on f2. So then when you play g4, take, and then it hangs on f2. That's why I played rook f1 actually, to protect the pawn. Bishop h6 came. Now I was a bit unsure because I was thinking about playing queen d3 or maybe queen c3. For example, queen d3, g4, f4. So this was one idea I was looking at. because if pawn takes, then bishop takes, queen takes, and white should be fine here, I think. Instead, bishop takes, g3, queen takes, g takes f4. White should be winning here. So black would not play g4, but black would play probably rook f8. And white would play b4, probably. And then maybe takes. Yeah, here I was not sure if black was gonna take c5. And white gets some counterplay here, which was actually what I was looking at, so. But you will understand soon that I never went for the correct counterplay. So I think queen d3 was a valid option. Rook d3 I'm not so sure about, actually. I think it's another inaccuracy. But rook b7 was interesting, putting the rook on g7 directly. So instead of that maneuver that I showed you, you get a different setup. Okay, here I was not sure if I should sacrifice the pawn. Probably I should not sacrifice that pawn. Probably I should have played queen c3, which was my original idea. And after rook g7, I think I can play b4. Yeah, this is what I was looking at, actually. Takes, takes, g4. And I was looking at takes, takes, check on b8, rook f8, queen d6, gh3, g3. Yeah, this is how far I looked, and I thought, okay, white, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. And I thought this was gonna be checkmate. Yeah, this is what I was. Right, I was not sure if I should go into this, but it's gonna be a pretty long variation, I guess, because white can do f3. No, but then queen e2. Yeah, that's losing probably. Yeah, I think that's why I rejected this. But let's see. Yeah, so maybe what happened was I just rejected this. I didn't see one resource. I'm looking at it now. I can see some check here, actually. And queen takes. No, even rook takes maybe. No, queen takes is correct, protecting the mate. Okay, this is actually playable for white, I think. I did not see that resource when I was looking at. This is the position I had in my head, this position, and I thought, okay, maybe I have to play g3. Also, not clear what is black threatening. Rook g2 or hg2 maybe. Hg2, yeah, and then queen h1 checkmate. Yeah. Okay, that's a valid threat. That's a valid threat. Yeah, I have to play this check. Okay, if I would have seen this check, I think I would have gone for queen c3, but in principle, I think queen c3 is the principal move. Take control here, prepare b4, and counterattack on diagonal. But instead, I played different move. I played a3, preparing b4. Not a great move to move the pawn from a2. Yeah, so rook g6, and slowly I was getting in trouble here. Now the rook is here, which means that g4 pushed, f4 is not possible anymore. There is no rook on f6 anymore. So the bishop is not hitting it. Now I could have played, probably could have played b4. Or queen c3 again, one of those two moves. g4 I can take, I guess, and play b4. But maybe b4 is faster. b4, g4, takes, takes, takes. But there is a problem here. Takes, rook takes, queen takes, queen. Okay, there is actually a problem. My bishop is hanging. So then this line maybe does not work. I had a feeling I'm in a bit of trouble here. So but I wasn't sure how much trouble. I was also looking a bit at rook e1, take rook, these kind of ideas. But then bishop f4 closes that one. I think I missed one more idea, maybe. Taking here and queen c3. Rook g7. d6. gh3. Rook g6. Rook g6. No, this is probably winning for black. Yeah, it should be winning for black, this one. Okay, good. Also, I was looking at g3, gh3, king h2. Yeah, I was looking at this kind of position. Ah, there is a check. No, but then rook takes. Ha! And I protect with the queen. Okay. Yeah, so it's really tricky. I was hoping at some point my opponent would forget that my queen controls the diagonal and blunder something, but you can never be sure of that. So what's the correct move here? Black wants to get the queen in, but it's not so easy. Not so easy. Maybe rook f7, trying to hit f2. No, but the queen is hanging. No, it's not hanging, yeah. It's not hanging, there's a bishop. Okay. But then this is where I made my decisive inaccuracy. I thought I calculated a correct variation, but I did not calculate it deep enough. And I went for a sacrifice, because I've been looking on different kinds of sacrifices on e5. So I went for a sacrifice that was incorrect. And the reason why it was incorrect, rook d8 check, queen f5, was because I calculated that I take my third pawn. And I play this position, the queens are on the board, black's attack looks to be finished. So I evaluated this position as okay for white and played the moves until I got here. And then I realized if I take the pawn, you can pause the video if you like, but this is an important position. So the solution is for black to play g4. And now my rook is hanging, and in fact I don't have a good response. I have to probably sacrifice the exchange, I guess. Yeah, because if I go here, takes an f3. Yeah, this is just losing. So I have to sacrifice exchange here. And this. Okay, how many pawns am I getting? I wasn't sure if this is enough pawns. Wasn't sure at all. It felt like it shouldn't be enough pawns. No. Also, I was looking at something like this and maybe taking. Okay, I can take on c5. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I should have played this actually, because maybe it's better in the game. I was just lost. Okay, rook takes, pawn takes. Yeah, maybe I could play this position. What's the best move? Queen g5? If queens are traded, probably I just lose immediately. I have to keep the queen somehow. Yeah, but I think this is lost, even though it's not totally trivial, but it will. One pawn will fall and then the next one will fall and it should be lost. So, learning the hard way to calculate the whole way, it's often half a move that's missing in the calculation and you get in big trouble. So this pawn is very problematic for me. Otherwise I could have played rook d4 and pinned the queen, but the pawn is controlling the d4 square, so I cannot do that. Let me see that you see the board. Yes, good. Okay. So now let's watch me suffer I went here to trade queens, because I was also looking to keep the queen like this. But let's see, what did I look at? Why did I reject queen d3? There was something. Was it just a feeling, or was it an actual calculation that made me reject queen d3? I think it was this, maybe? And rook f6. Hang this. No, but it couldn't have been. I play f3 here. Was it e4? Maybe, yeah. Yeah, maybe I have to sacrifice the exchange again. Yeah, something made me reject queen d3. So I traded queens. And black played very well here. I thought I had drawing chances, but later it was revealed that... Or, okay, maybe I have drawing chances, but the setup I chose was not the best. Yes, so what is the best way to defend this, actually? It's interesting when you think about it after the game, but I don't know what setup is correct. But I think black will finally break through. Problem is that the h-file is open. I had this thought during the game that, did I take with the wrong pawn? I was like thinking, because now the h-file is closed, at least. I don't know, the same line. Is it easier to hold the draw here? Or try to hold the draw here? I don't know. Just feels like Swiss cheese here. Finally, maybe black will sacrifice a pawn and get the king in somehow, or the bishop in. But maybe it was even easier to defend with f takes. Really not in shape today. Bishop d6. Rook b1 played. Rook f4. Oh yeah, I didn't want to allow e4. Yeah. This would probably cut off my king. But then I don't have the pawns here anymore. Which could be good or bad. White is gonna be very passive. The king is gonna probably come in here finally. Yeah. So I played d3. Rook d4, rook d1. Bishop c7, king f1, bishop a5, king e2. Rook d6, yes. Now the rook is coming here. That's why it's good to leave the pawn on h7. If it would have been on h6, it would have been easier for me to defend. I played... What did I play? Thinking maybe I should have defended like this. And just held the h-file with my rook. But then maybe somehow black can create this situation. But then I am in time to defend. So the sixth rank is not open, so black cannot do this pendulum b6, h6. But maybe black can do like this. go here, provoke a4, go back, and then move the king all the way to b3. That's actually one winning plan. This is probably lost in several ways, but one of them is the most exact probably. So rook d6. I played rook c1 to prevent bishop c3. Rook h6, and I cannot go here because there is a check. King e3. Yeah, let's just go through this a bit faster. King f7, king e6. I just want to show you how to win similar positions if you ever get one. Bishop c7, rook f1, bishop a5. Okay, I don't know, I just offered the draw here, but I think I understood that my drawing chances are very low. So maybe it was stupid to do it. But you don't know until you try. King g7. Rook h6, yes. So now black is changing setup. Rook d6. And the idea is to put the rook here, and when white plays rook b1, black plays bishop c3, bishop d4 check. That's the plan. And then the rook goes back again to d6, to h6, to h2. And then there's a pressure on this pawn. Actually, I can show you the whole plan. I can show you what black is threatening. So you know how to do this. This is the threat. Rook here again. Rook here. Here. Rook here. Okay, so now we got to the position. And now black uses the king. Uses the h-pawn. Let's see. Yeah, there are different ways to do it. If you take g4. Now Zugzwang, so soon Zugzwang, white doesn't have any good moves soon, and white will lose the f2 pawn and the g3 pawn and all the pawns. If you don't take, I think black goes to h4, and this pawn will promote, or white will have to sacrifice on it. Let's see what was more. If you take, and you play g4 check, then the king will come into g2, and I think rook h1 maybe. Yeah, this kind of endgame is winning, of course. Yeah, white cannot really create any passed pawns here, so there is no counterplay really. So now you've seen how this happens. Let's see here. So I tried let's see here. King e4, king f6, rook h1, check on d4, king g6. And now I tried rook b1, king e4 again, and now the bishop came in. I tried b4, bishop d4, protecting pawn, attacking this pawn. And this is, yeah, this is just finished. If I go, yeah, I have to try b5, which I did. Black took, which was correct. And now if I try to play a4, then black goes king f6 and threatens mate in 1. And I'll lose material on that side. So I decided to try b6. But then my opponent calculated very nice variation. Check. Rook d6, check. See how the bishop protects everything, and a takes b6. And I resigned the game. So very well played by my opponent, and many inaccuracies from me today. So thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. And see you after the final round.